So I'm preparing to make those phone calls to begin the process of trying to sue the Rock County Sheriff's Department, court administrator, prosecuting attorney, working together. I have 5, just off the top of my head, I have 5 incidences within just the last few years that will still fall within that extension that I didn't know I had because of the mental state that I'm in, with the evidence proving that I'm in this state. I mean, a substantial amount of evidence proving that I'm in this state. Classified as a vulnerable adult. I've got 5 different phone numbers that I can call today. So I'm going to record those phone call conversations and see where they go. I have called the Minnesota Governor's Office in the past. I've called the Department of Human Rights in Minnesota. And what is that? Keith Erickson or Ellison or something like that. State Attorney General's office. And was denied any assistance. And in fact, the way that they denied me, it was very, very strange, honestly. And the Department of Human Rights, by the way, what I was getting for feedback is they only help groups, not an individual. That's why I was denied. So these majority of these phone calls that I'm going to make today are specifically targeted for vulnerable adults and or disability status. So I'm going to be making those phone calls today. And because this we are in a situation. And this is not just something that is recent. As I made the statement before, the prosecuting district attorney, whatever you call him, one who I have his business card in one of the videos. I just made that video public again here a couple days ago or whatever, a week ago or something. I don't know. I made a whole bunch of videos public anyhow in the last week, like 20 or 30 videos. I have a lot more to make. I'm going to put them on a timed future date publication. So I'm going to publish it, but it's not going to become visible to the public till a later date, just in case something happens. And then as long as I'm home and I can push that out, it won't get posted. In the event that I can't, then it'll get posted. Because when I was making this research, finding out that I had an extension because I'm vulnerable, adult, disabled in these situations, because I was trying to make sure that I was as secure as I understood my legal rights to be able to show this video, particularly the day that I was harassed with hate music. And it's very clear. I mean, I cited a whole bunch of legal precedent of it's textbook harassment by them. Textbook, you can't, and it's very clear what they were doing. Very clear that they were targeting me. Undeniable. And then I was arrested. See, in these five incidences that fall into this still can file a claim. This isn't new. This has been going on for 30 years. And then to find out that the prosecuting attorney has been in that office, I believe it's for 27 years. Again, I'll have to look. I have screenshotted and stuff like that when I was preparing months ago to present to the court, because I was going to make sure I articulated very specific language that I knew was going to be documented in the court. I made it very public what I was going to be doing. And then, of course, that court hearing never happened. That prosecuting attorney told the court, well, I actually have 30 days and I can't believe this court hearing was set. Well, the court hearing was set the last time we were in court, so you knew the date was coming. And then that time passed. You're 30 days, and then you still never filed the official complaint like was requested on my part. And if he would have done a real job, he would have discovered that the two girls that were harassing me weren't legally able to drive that four-wheeler. Golf cart, excuse me. Then, of course, the two men that bragged to the police officer, having chased after me with clear intentions of assault, did not identify. In fact, they lied to me about who they were, all on video. And then they went and filed false police reports in my name, which I can prove that they lied. Can prove that they lied. And when they tried to lie to me during the event that was happening, I corrected them numerous times, all on video. All on video. So anyhow, doing this research to make sure that I had it advised not to post that information, since I am bringing a case against Rock County. Now, if I make all of these phone calls and I end up with the same bullshit that I got from the state, Keith Ellison or whatever, Department of Human Rights, and the governor's office, because I had emails, I had phone calls with me on the governor's office regarding some of this crap. If I get the same dead end, then I'm going to immediately post all of that. All of it's getting posted. So I got a lot of phone calls, and I will be making those today, because I was gonna try to do this at the beginning of the week, but as things have escalated this week, we're at a do or die situation here. Because I don't believe in my heart they're just gonna let this blow over. I don't, particularly with what I have been experiencing, and we have a situation with me, because my threshold and tolerance is I don't have any more anymore. They have created this situation for me that I cannot tolerate being alive anymore, because of what they have done. Cannot continue on with the way that this is. They have created this situation. These 5 incidents, and I want to add, this situation has added a new problem to my mental health. And as I've stated, when they arrested me, first off, I was in complete shock. I'm like, this is a joke, right? And I couldn't speak. I don't know what it was. 18 hours. And they were requiring me to, I don't even remember. I don't know if this is the only thing, if this was it, but just to make I could not enunciate words out of my mouth. Could not talk. And they're telling me things like, I need to call a probation officer. And I'm like, I could not talk. I was in such a state of shock at what was going on, for being arrested, for getting evidence of being harassed. I could not comprehend what was going on. And that was not the first time that I was threatened with arrest for going and getting evidence of being harassed. Like when this 9 high school, presumably football players, came to my house to assault me. I called the police and I went out looking for them and found them. And the reason why I know it was 9 was very easy to count, because when I confronted them, I walked right up to them within 3 feet, them not realizing that it was me until I'm standing right there. And then they split it off in 4 and 5. 5 run one direction, 4 run in another direction. Pretty easy to count. When I first walked up, hard to count, but when they split, it was pretty easy to count. And then when the cop showed up, he threatened to arrest me for trying to get proof of evidence. So, again, they have created a situation. I am not safe. They have created, and again, I want to state again, I provided evidence to the court of the public mocking the situation, knowing that the sheriff, the prosecuting attorney, and judges aren't going to do anything to protect me. They're mocking them. That was presented, and it is in a permanent file at the Rock County Courthouse, where I was then dismissed because I was not mentally fit to stand trial just minutes before a jury trial. And that tick was, like I've said before, if anybody remembers the show The Rain Man, when Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise are traveling across to Vegas and they stop at Nebraska or Kansas or something, knock on these strangers' house and say, my brother needs to watch Judge Wapner and Wheel of Fortune. And Dustin Hoffman is doing all this weird shit. That was me. When they arrested me, and then I come home, immediately I started to get that tick. And the closer that I got to the jury trial, it got worse and worse and worse. And for about a week, 2 weeks before the trial, I can't remember exactly, somewhere around in there, that tick was succumbing my life. When I was in the courthouse, out in there in the lobby, waiting to be brought in, I couldn't stop that tick. They created this. That is new. That is a new situation for me that these mofos created for me. You have made it so exceptionally worse, and you have made it so I know that there is, like I said, that evidence that I provided to the court of them mocking the situation, saying nobody's coming to help you, couldn't encapsulate the situation any better. Like the absolute irony of the situation is not missed on me. All of this is going to become, if this kicks off, this is going to be very fucking public. Very, very public. I would not be so short as to say that this might not, this could very well become some mildly international, but definitely nationally. Because it's so clearly deliberate. Backtracking again, 27 years, that prosecuting attorney has been in this office. This shit has been going on with that motherfucker since then. Since he has been in that office discriminating against me generationally. Starting with things like when I videotaped my neighbor stealing from my property. They literally walked from off their back door over to my property and stole from me. I had a professionally installed surveillance system by a company for several $1,000s. And I sent that tape to them to have a professional duplicate, isolated to the situation copy, submitted that to the police department, and they said to me that wasn't enough proof. So this has been going on for 30 fucking years. And now it's time somebody finds out.